now because it's funny.
This is what you wanted in your content from me? The gossip?
This is the hot goss part of it. Hey guys, it's MadameWario. Welcome back to more Madame Talks, where I am interviewing Let's Players from the past, present, and future. So I'm here with
Xenonia.
Do you have like an intro? That's what I'm asking everybody, because you know how I'm like, hey guys, it's MadameWario.
Do you want me to do an intro?
Yeah, do your intro. What's your intro?
Hey everyone, it's Xenonia 11 or Xenonia.
Wait, is that really your intro?
I think so. I mean, it might be hey guys.
No, I don't remember your intro.
I don't remember mine either. I think it's like hey everyone, it's Xenonia, or like hey guys, it's Xenonia. Like,
so now wait a minute. So I already had this conversation once, and now I have to have the same conversation with you about numbers.
Oh, yes.
Now you're Xenonia, and you were Xenonia 11, so why were you Xenonia 11?
There was a video game that I was playing, Dance Dance Revolution, but I don't remember which one it was. And it had this song called Xenon, and I really liked that song, and it just stuck out in my head when I was picking a name one day, choosing my character name.
Right.
And Odinspec was there, and he's like, Xenon isn't like girly enough. Like, you should put something girly at the end of it. And I was like what? He's like, I don't know, like an A or something. And then he's like, I don't know, like maybe like Ia, or like he was playing around with it.
Messing around with the sounds.
Yeah, and was like typing it in, and like we just came up with Xenonia together. And then we chose the name, and it was accepted because no one had Xenonia, I believe. Right. And then when I went to make my YouTube page, I really wanted to keep using Xenonia because I thought it was a really cool name. And someone had already had Xenonia for some reason.
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
With Odin too? Like, who has Odinspec?
Who has Xenonia with an X?
Who has Odin?
I don't understand.
Why? Like,
so
who was like, okay,
yeah.
It's weird.
So the reason why I chose 11 was because I don't like having numbers next to my name, and 11 looks like two lines.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like,
I didn't know that. I thought it was just because you were playing Final Fantasy 11.
Oh,
like, well, that's what I thought.
That's funny, and it's not the reason.
That's really what I thought the reason was.
Yeah, so that's what the backstory is.
Wow, that's your colorful backstory. So were you like me? Because when I started, I was worried because it was a very like male-dominated community, obviously, because video games are typically more encompassed by males. I was really worried like people wouldn't believe me like behind the camera that a girl was playing. I don't know why this was a thought in my mind, like, oh my god, they might think I'm a teenage boy. So I was like, oh, I need to make sure they know I'm a girl. So was that like another reason you made like Xenonia as opposed to being like
the feminine thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually Odinspec again was like, you should be an Elvan female, because in Final Fantasy 11 there's a lot of men who play Mithras. Okay. So like the female, a Mithra is mostly female character. Like there are there's men Mithra characters in the world of Final Fantasy, but you can only play as a female Mithra. But there was a lot of guys playing, like in real life behind the screen, they're male, but they're playing as females. Right. Whereas like in the game, it was known that like if there is a female Elvan, there's like a pretty high chance that it's like probably actually a girl in real life playing the game. Funny. And I think it's something to do with like, oh, guys are playing as a Mithra because they're hot and sexy, so they like to like watch. Right. That's like the whole. I mean, maybe that's not true.
Yeah, but that's like the connotation. It's still that same kind of belief, like, oh wait, what if people don't know?
Yeah, and I've spoken to guys before, and they've said like, oh, like I play female characters because I don't want to watch a guy walking in front of my screen, and I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is. That's not everybody.
I would never think that. I would literally never even have that thought.
I don't know,
but you know, if you grow up playing Mario like I did, it's like you're Mario. That's it. There's no option.
Right. So in terms of YouTube and me being a female behind the screen, not being on camera, doing Let's Plays, and openly being a female person online in the gaming industry, I knew there would be probably some comments. Because it's like, it's mostly a male-dominated. I mean, there's been some progression, but like...
It didn't really, for me anyway, I didn't really get the comments that I was anticipating of like, wait, are you really doing this? Like, I just thought that was going to happen and it never did.
Yeah.
So
I thought that it might give me an upper hand being a female in the industry because there aren't as many females, so maybe people would follow because there's not as many at the time. This was such a long time ago.
I know. Because when did you start, I guess? Like
I think I started in 2009 is when I started.
So you were like the year before me.
Yeah. So. And when that, like, around that time, that was a time when YouTube was like still kind of new and it was really easy to get followers. Like, super easy.
Because it was even when I started in 2010, like it wasn't so... It wasn't so oversaturated with people who were just like, okay, I think I'll be a gamer today.
Right.
You know.
Actually, there's one comment that I got that sticks out in my head to this day. Someone said that I sound androgynous, and I didn't at the time really know exactly what that meant.
Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, and I was kind of offended, and they weren't sure if I sounded like a boy or a girl, and I guess like today it's like, oh, well, I do have like a lower voice for a female, I guess. And
I do too, so that's why I was worried too. I was like, oh no, what if they think I...
Yeah, but someone said that. They thought, they thought
that. I don't know why I was worried.
That I could have been a guy or a girl, and I was offended, and they were like, why are you offended by this comment? I'm like, I don't know. But I guess looking back, it's like, kind of funny. Yeah. Because it doesn't bother me now.
Wow. Well, when you haven't been doing that too, like making Let's Plays, you're not used to listening to yourself either, so you have kind of these preconceived notions of how you sound, and then it's like, you slowly like shed whatever worry you had about it because it's like, oh, now I just hear myself all the time, so now I'm gonna go edit out my you know. So
I never edited out my
I never edited out my either, but I always thought, wow, I really should have.
Yeah.
Okay, you've told me this, and I can't remember what it was now because I don't think I ever saw it. But what was your first project? That you posted on YouTube.
The very first thing that I ever
that you did,
by myself
on your own,
because there's another project.
Okay, well, tell us about both then.
Okay, the very first project that I ever posted, I'm pretty sure it was posted actually, and then we deleted it. But it was with my brother Cypheron48, who's also a YouTuber.
You should probably, because you're also. She has two bros in the community.
And
two bros in the community.
And Cypheron was like a very like, he made leaps and bounds at the time, and like
which is crazy.
He had like 10,000 like subscribers on YouTube or something
insane,
ridiculous.
Because that was like not a thing back then that people had. They weren't like casual 10,000
for his Banjo-Kazooie Let's Play, which is crazy. But like before all of that. He introduced me and Odin with like this whole concept, and we played Donkey Kong Country 3. And I can't remember how many episodes we recorded, but I think we posted 3 episodes.
To your channel?
I don't know whose channel it was.
But you were like, okay.
It might have been like a dual channel, but it was like a channel. I'm pretty sure they were posted. Don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure. We still have these videos.
But are they on YouTube or you?
They're not.
Deleted them?
We have them. Yeah, they've been since deleted, but. My first project on my own channel was ActRaiser for Super Nintendo.
That's so crazy. I didn't even know what that game was. I would have never played that game because I just wouldn't have known what it was.
I don't know. I never personally played through the game by myself.
So you chose to do something new, like not something you were familiar with.
Right.
I mean, you were.
I was familiar
you
with
watched it, but you hadn't played through yourself.
Yeah, Odin and like all the bros. They all played They all played all the games, and I grew up watching them all play the games, and ActRaiser was one of them.
So why did you pick that game? Why was that?
I don't know. No reason.
I think because casual.
It like wasn't a known game at the time, and I'm kind of known for like loving retro gaming because I grew up with that. It's like nostalgia for me. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to do like Final Fantasy or an RPG right now. I don't want to do Kirby Superstar because it's probably been done a lot. I wanted to just do something that maybe a lot of people weren't doing, and nobody was doing. Like no one was doing ActRaiser at that time. And actually, I think I inspired some other people to do ActRaiser.
Right, because
I had gotten comments in time being like, oh, you inspired me to do an ActRaiser LP, and I'm
That's
like,
cool.
oh, that's really cool.
Like, what? How?
Yeah.
How did I do this?
Yeah.
You know,
I inspired someone.
Did this? Talking about like the Let's Play community, who was the first person that you met just on your own, not like through one of your brothers, but like on your own through Let's Playing, that you either still talk to or you like don't talk to anymore, but you remember like...
Who did I meet on my own?
Yeah, like who did you socialize with that you're like, oh, this like other LPer I talk to now and we're friends?
It's all a blur. Because I feel like most people that I met in the community were through through Odin.
So you like, yeah.
Because a lot of it started, I graduated high school and there was like the summer before I went to college. And that whole summer I was on Skype chatting with like Shots Rocks and Odin's back. And like,
right.
I think that's the year I probably met like Chicken and like Tennis Bubba.
Yeah.
And
which is funny because I didn't even meet them until like in person and I had no idea who
it
they
might
were.
have been it was either that same year or the year following, but I met a bunch, I just can't remember off the top of my... Griffin Lobster.
Yeah. Big Griff.
Big Griff. Griffin Lobster, yeah.
Big Ben, probably.
Big Ben,
Big Dark
yeah.
Minded
Actually, yeah. Dark-Minded Sith. There was this one person, and I can't remember, like, his username, but it was like S something and some letters.
Is it like SSO?
Something?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
I can't remember because I always thought...
I met him somehow, not through Odin or anyone.
Right, because
we chatted before.
He sent me a private... I know exactly who you're talking about because he sent me a private message.
Yes.
And then I looked it up and he had like a decent
following.
And I was like,
huge following.
Who is this person?
And then he went on, he used to spam post like videos all the time and he grew a huge following and then he like, I think he moved in with like, I don't know why I know this stuff, but
I know weird
with
things
some other
about...
LPers.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know whatever happened to that. Or
I have no idea what happened to this person.
I don't know.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
But that's, okay, that's one person that I remember. And also Donnavelle's. I used to message her on Skype for some reason. I don't know how we connected, but we did somehow.
Right.
Probably because we're female gamers in the community.
Well, because like in person, you met most of these people at PAX, I assume.
Yes.
Like, because that's where we met. In person. Do you remember how we met? Like,
you
not in person?
Not... on Skype.
Yeah, but do you remember how?
Yeah, I do. For Odin. Because I trolled.
No, because I was that person who got on Skype and I like messaged every single person that was like online. I was like, oh hi, because I just like to talk to people. And so I messaged Odin and I was like, hey, what's up? And he texted back, like he messaged back like, boop. And I'm like, what? Like, what the? I was like, that's not usually what he says. And then I was like, what does that mean? And you were like, poop, poop. And I'm like, what is happening? Then I get like this random friend request from Xenonia or whatever.
Yeah, but I think I trolled you for a while.
You did. And I was like,
Odin
is such a weirdo. Like, what happened to him? Is he drunk? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I really thought it was Odin. And then you were like, I got a friend request from you then. I didn't know you guys were brother and sister, I don't think. Or maybe I did. Maybe I did, but I didn't know you like did gaming stuff really. Like I just didn't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either if we ever disclosed that we were siblings.
But then I got a friend request from you on Skype and I'm like, who is this? So I accepted it and that actually was Odin who was like, hey, sorry, I'm on my sister's account right now because she's currently on mine and I have no idea what she's saying, she's trolling you. And I was like, what?
Because we were at our grandparents' at the time.
You were like, and he was on your computer or something.
Yeah, we were.
And you were on his.
Because we were in like two rooms like next to each other, like just being. And he went downstairs.
Both trolling me for some reason. I don't understand, but that's how we met.
I feel like I might have seen like maybe a video of yours or something.
Right, like
and
you know what? I knew
like,
who you were because you were in a modeling contest. And like
you're gonna bring that up because like I was gonna bring that up.
because I get this message from Slim Kirby that's like, hey, help Odin's sister. She's in this modeling contest for Old Navy. And I was like, okay.
Do you remember that?
Yes, that was so. I voted for you before I even knew who you were.
That's
I was
hilarious.
like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Like, and I think that's why I didn't even know you had a channel or anything yet, because like
Right.
I just associated you with that.
You know what's funny? You know how Facebook gives you like a remember when, like many years back? There was like a post of remember when, like 2 days ago, that reminded me about the Old Navy competition. And I was like, what?
You like placed really
high. I was like third or something.
Which is insane because there were so many people that entered, and I was like,
and it was like a big deal for the LP community at the time because there was only
everybody
like
knew each other.
There was only like us. There was only a few of us. There wasn't a huge community.
But everybody was dedicated.
But we were and like I believe it was I think Nintendo Capri Sun. I think he knew about it and he like talked about it on one of his videos, like back in the day. Right. And was like, he
probably
did.
This is a big
honestly.
deal.
Like, you should vote for her. And like and it did like help me get into like I didn't win, but and it was
still
and it
like
was
the fact that you got so close. So it's like
it was my prom photo.
Like, why? Who knew? You were a model all along. In this prom photo you probably just took, casually.
That was a big thing.
Wow.
And there's probably, if you looked online hard enough, there's probably videos up being like, hey, vote for Xenonia 11.
I just remember that
because Old Navy contest,
Right, because at the time I was going to the Blarg Pit chat room that was run by, like, Crystal Star Studios co-op channel. Yeah. And I had kind of befriended Slim Kirby, and I remember him saying, like, oh, go vote for this. And I'm like, who is this? And he said, that's Odin's sister. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that was it. And it's like,
we didn't know each other at the time.
No, that was the first time I ever heard of you. And then the first time I ever talked to you was unintentionally on Skype.
Yeah. Yes.
Because actually, I only knew one girl in the gaming community. This is so dumb, but I only knew one person. And it's because Slim, again, like, took a jab at her in one of his videos, was like, I said I was going to start a Q&A series, and then Josie91 decided to start a Q&A series, and I was like, who's Josie91? A girl? So I looked her up, and I, like, secretly watched her, and I was so jealous of her because of her hair. I was like, oh my god, her hair's better than mine.
Her hair was
Everybody's
so cool.
gonna love her and hate me.
Sorry, Chelsea, but I felt
Chelsea,
the same
I love
way.
you so much.
But your hair
is freaking amazing.
It's
and
great.
It threatened me back in the day.
me too. I was like,
how am I gonna make it as a gamer girl when Josie91 exists?
And her hair, and I was really, really like down with her doing Majora's Mask.
Yeah, and when I'm
obsessed.
You know what's
I love
sad
that game.
is when I met her in person, I choked because she was like, "Oh, I thought you hated me," and I'm like, "No, I love you. I watched your Ocarina of Time Let's Play," and she was like, "It was Majora's Mask." I'm like, I mean,
do you know when I met her and I flipped over a table?
Yeah.
And I had like cuts on my shin, and they were there for like 3 years. Like,
so we're both Josie91 fangirls, guys.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were your thoughts going into your first convention? Because you went by yourself, right? Or were you not by yourself for that one? You did a lot of like solo, like, I'm gonna just go. I was always like, how does she do this alone? Like, I tried, and my sister was like, let me go too. So like, I was not allowed to go alone.
I remember with Sarah.
The first time?
Yeah. At like not attached to the hotel.
Because you were like, I hailed a cab.
Yeah, Sarah and I roomed at a hotel that was a little further away, and we had to take a shuttle in or something like that. Or a cab or something.
That was the first year?
Yeah.
Because I know that
it was Sarah,
one point
I
in
didn't
time,
know where to stay, and it was just her and I. I swear,
and we didn't really talk
yet.
No. Like, I mean, we did that on Skype, like, randomly, but like, we didn't like talk regularly. Like, we didn't know each other super well yet.
I roomed with Allison and Nat the second year, I think.
Right, and you only went twice, right?
Well, I went to PAX twice. I did
That's what I'm
MagFest
thinking
twice,
then.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, like, we did all room together at MagFest, but, like, that first time, so you were with Sarah, because I didn't know Sarah either. That was, like, how I met Sarah. Was that the first time you met her?
Yeah.
This is Illa Weaver, by the way.
Illa Weaver, yeah.
So were you there that first night I got drunk?
I don't think so.
You weren't there?
I don't know.
When Rachel was at the drag show?
No.
I was like, Rachel, come, like, have a party with us.
Maybe? I don't know.
Yes, you were.
I was there?
Because I made you do plies in the lobby.
I remember that.
I was like, guys, it's Monday night. I should be teaching ballet.
I do,
We gotta do plies right
Yeah,
now. And
right.
you guys were just like, okay.
I do remember that.
Because we had the Lion King cab that took us home.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yes, I do.
It's like Lion King music blaring out of the cab we took home.
Yes, that's great.
This was like how we got to know each other.
Yeah.
Was through a Lion King cab.
But I did travel with Odin and Shots on the bus.
Was that the vomit?
That was the vomit comment. We had lunch at like
Subway,
I think it was a
right?
Subway. It was a submarine
It was
place.
the nerves.
It was Subway. And like
A submarine?
Like, Odin submarines. They're called submarines.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And Odin and I had them as well, but like we didn't throw up, but he threw up, and then I had to like clean it because there's no cleaning supplies.
It was like Purell.
With Purell, like some sort of hand sanitizer.
So Alicia was the
Gross.
nurse of her first con. In other
Yeah.
words, you were the nurse.
Yeah.
You were in like a different group than I was, which is
Yeah.
weird to think about because like
Crystal Star Studios,
that was like a different group.
I wasn't a part of it.
No,
I wasn't.
but
like,
I was
I
like-
didn't even watch their stuff.
I don't
for
even
the
know
longest
how I
time.
became. So I like by default became associated with that group.
Yeah.
Just because of like who happened to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because I told Odin this too, that I associated him and Dark Minded Sith and Griff as like this power trio of like comedians. And I was like, oh yeah, they're like these funny people that like are untouchable. And then there's this other group that I can reach maybe and that I was introduced to and ended up talking to every night and like befriending a lot of them. And that was just something that happened for me. But you were in like that other world, like
well, I was,
which is so weird
because Odin knew like a lot of people, and I kind of like knew everyone by default through him, just through being invited to Skype calls and stuff like that. Dark Minded Sith had a friend that I used to talk to who was being weird, and he like
yes, because that same friend was weird to me.
Protected me from the situation. I distinctly remember that.
Listen to the realism of the Let's Play community.
Being a female in the Let's Play community, and like
sometimes people ask you for nudes, and you're like, what the F? Like,
you're like, I'm just making
Can I not do
about video games?
Can we not talk about nudity? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, that's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a co-op thing for a while. We did Critical Chicks together.
Yeah.
Which, was that your first co-op group?
Yeah,
Because the only co-op group I had done before that was the 5 Lost Levels. And that was, like,
yes.
weird.
So, you know what? Actually, I wanted to say this. When I was on YouTube, I was also going to college, and I was very lost at that time in my life.
Right, like, that's what I was going to ask you, is, like, where were you, like, when you first found YouTube? Like, why did you do it?
Well, I found it through Scythe.
Right, but, like, why were you like, oh, I'll do this too?
Because I thought it was, like, a fun opportunity to maybe show a side of myself that was always repressed.
Right, mm-hmm.
Because I spent a lot of my high school years, like, playing music and being in drama, and, like, those are huge passions of mine and what I want for, like, career, like, my career.
Right.
But, like, this is a side of me that I've always had since, like, my childhood, growing up with my brothers, that, like, I just wanted to be like, hey, world, like, I am a female and I like video games. Like this. And, like, you know, it's okay to be like this. It's okay to be a female who likes playing video games.
There was really no way to express that before then either. Like, that's kind of a thing now. Like, that's more like, oh, kids can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's obvious now. It's
right, but there
now.
Was no way to express that.
No, I got bullied like a shit ton. Actually, other girls used to bully me for having interest in like Pokemon cards and stuff.
It's so weird.
In elementary school. And
what?
then
elementary school is like prime Pokemon day.
Yeah, I got like, and I still played and got involved with those things, but it was only on the days where, like, the girls that I was friends with,
right,
weren't liking me that day, so I'd, like, go and hang out with my brother at recess.
Right.
And, like, play Pokemon
Which is
cards
so,
with him and
like,
his friends.
wow.
Yeah.
That's funny to think about. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not funny, but
No,
it's just wow, that's
wow.
like a weird twist. So during your college days,
Oh, my college, yes.
you were talking about where you were.
Where I was. I finished ActRaiser, but then, like, I didn't really do much after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I did, like, Final Fantasy X at one point. I did Kingdom Hearts at one point. I did Kirby Superstar at one point. I did Katamari Damacy at one point. And nothing ever stuck. And I was always kind of all over the place because mentally I was not controlled. And
right.
like, I wasn't really... I didn't know what I was doing with my life. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to do acting. I didn't have a focus. So I wasn't just focused on Let's Plays, and I was afraid, I don't know why I was afraid to take the chance of just, like, continue doing Let's Playing, but it's a big chance back then, because it was like, if you take a chance on this potential job that doesn't exist yet, because it didn't really exist.
No, it was
being a content creator was not a job.
That wasn't a thing, and it was, like, unheard of to make money doing this. It was just a hobby.
Right, like, so it was, like, a big chance to take that I wasn't sure of.
But I feel like there was more even though that wasn't part of it, there was more pressure, because there was more of an audience that was, like, readily there and would call you out and be like, why aren't you doing it?
Because my numbers were growing. Like, I think I'm still at, like, 700 something people, like, of subscribers, but at the time, it was growing pretty quickly.
Right.
Like, it had only been a couple months, and I was at, like, 700.
Right, and you're like, whoa, how?
And I was getting a lot of views on, like, ActRaiser and stuff, so, like, I don't know, and I think I took breaks away from it, but I always stayed connected with you guys.
Yeah.
Online, and I had prospects to, like, continue doing it, but then it would just never, like, follow through, kind of like with cosplay, actually, where I want to make a cosplay, and I just, like...
endless ideas. I'm like,
I want to do these things.
Everybody does that. Like, everybody has
but then,
that,
like, it doesn't follow through, or, like, you have a group project, and it fails because... Yeah.
Because people's lives aren't identical.
Which
and
brings
so
us back to Critical Chicks.
I know, it's like, wait, what was your co-op? And then we went off on this
tangent, but, like... The co-op, I think the only projects that I've ever done with, like, co-op with people were with, like, Odin or you guys. Although Odin and Griff had a co-op channel, and I designed their logo, and it was, like, their heads together. Do you remember that?
Yes, and I didn't know that. I did not know that until recently. Like,
that I made
like
that?
2 weeks ago recently.
That I made
that? Yeah. I was like, did you know that Alicia made that icon? I was like, no, she didn't. Like, yeah, she did. I was like, what?
Yeah,
How?
From Neopets in like HTML and graphic design, and like I took a graphic design course in high school.
Right.
I've always just been like interested in like some behind the scenes stuff, and so like I like making like layouts and text and things and playing around with things, like just spending like. Why did I spend 3 hours on Photoshop?
Why did I do this? Yeah.
But then, like, I learned, but that's how I learned.
Photoshop sucks the wait time, though. Like, it really
it
does. Just like editing videos. It's like time, gone, done.
Like, if you look at my Twitch today, all the, like, word graphics, they're all made by me. I made all those.
Right. And
it was, like, a design thing that I played around with, and then I just copied it for every, like, different word that I had, like, for, like, socials, and it's all the same. And like the layouts that I created were all made on Photoshop that I've had on my Twitch channel, and I know Odin and Syph had a dual channel on Twitch, and I made all their graphics.
Just make all these graphics.
Just cause
incognito, like.
Yeah. Well, even I'm in a show right now, and I'm like, can I do props?
Can I do the props for?
Can I do costumes and props? Like, they're like, we have a team for that, but if you want to
help, always doing a multitude of whatever,
of just a bunch of shit. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time we met in person? Like what you thought?
First time I met you in person, I was blonde.
Yeah, you were blonde.
I had a wig.
And I was like, oh my god, you have brown hair. Like, I didn't know.
No, but you didn't think about it until I took the wig off, and you were like, yes. The first time I met you guys was on the floor, on the con floor.
Yeah, like in the expo hall.
Yeah, in the expo hall. And what, it was
we were gonna dance.
Yeah, it was you. Central. Was you, Allison, and Nat?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I had met Rachel in the hallway.
See? This was before. Yeah, because I didn't meet Rachel until like a day later.
Because Rachel like left. Well,
she waved to me and I didn't wave back, so she thought I hated her, and I'm like, what?
This is like asking me to think about what I thought would be 10 years ago.
Yeah, what did you think of me
10
years ago?
I think I was like excited.
But you didn't think I hated you?
No.
Okay, good. You were like Rachel or Odin, where you were like, oh, you hated me.
I thought Rachel hated me.
We all just have horrible first impressions of each other.
Because she was good friends with Shots Rocks, and we dated.
Right.
So I was like not sure about that.
I don't even know if you were there for this, of when Rachel came up to me and told me that she liked Eric, and at the time that was my boyfriend. And
was it the other Eric?
Yeah, no, I didn't know this though. I had no idea.
This is what you wanted in this content from me? The gossip?
This is the hot goss
from
part of this video. Rachel comes up to me and she said, hey, and this is the kind of weirdo person I am. She goes, so I really have a crush on Eric. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, okay. I said, okay, like, isn't that kind of weird though? And she's like, not your Eric. She's like, why would you be okay with this? I wanted to be like a good friend and be like, well, let's have a good talk. She's like, that's not even the right Eric. I didn't know Snack's real name. So I also had false impressions of Chelsea's like,
sorry, Chelsea.
Random.
This is like shit post of Chelsea 91.
This is our fandom of Chelsea 91. Okay, so where are you now in the gaming community?
Without going into too much personal things, financially it hasn't been feasible for me to continue with Twitch. I don't have the technology right now to like do it, and so I would love to stream on Twitch again. I would have to do like Z-SNES emulator, right, and stream on that. And it might,
whatever.
I might as well. I've been more active in the cosplay community lately.
Which you've always been active in the cosplay community.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken breaks.
But I feel like you've been doing that for like a really long time now, and it's just like it's more of a constant of something that you're always working on. Because there's sometimes like I've like hoarded materials over the years. So like if there's an event, I can like throw something quickly together. Right. Like there was May the 4th be with you, like Star Wars, and I made a Sith Lord like outfit in like 4 hours. Right, because you just had what you needed, basically. I had like a bunch of materials and I just like threw shit together. It was like, I have a cosplay now. I like creating. I like being creative and content creation, like Twitch and talking to people and that sort of thing. I'm trying to think how I got into cosplay. I somehow found Jessica Negri. Like, I did. I found her like online. Like years ago. She's like a huge Jessica Negri fan. I am. I know. I had no idea who she was. I'm a fan of her because she essentially has a job that I wish that I could have. Right. And I feel like her whole aesthetic and like life. I feel similar. Like I feel like it's like everything she likes, I probably like too. And I'm just like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I do this? How do I like be girl gamer? I would love to do that. Like that's what I would love to do, but I don't know how to do it. The only tools that I had actually were Kamui cosplay when she didn't speak English. She only spoke German. That's crazy. So she had these videos up in German with like captions, and I was like trying to learn. I will try to do this. That was like all that was available, and like my mom teaching me how to sew, and like she helped me with my Ni no Kuni cosplay. I remember that. I do remember that part. You're like, my mom helped me sew this, and I was like, oh. Still have that blonde wig that I butchered. Blonde wig. I cut like the bang here, and like it's so bad. I guess to cap off, like what surprised you most from the Let's Play community? Like there's so many people that I've connected with all over the world. I recently, in the last couple of years, started getting involved with the Toronto cosplay community. And so I was like, you know, adapting and like still really wanted to like have that part of my life. So I was meeting new people in Toronto for the last couple of years and making new friends. And there's one thing that I always reference, and it's always like my United States American friends group. The US group. And the fact that like people talk about conventions, and I'm like, my first ever convention was PAX East. And it's like a big deal because like Canadian cons do not compare No.
to United States cons at all. Like, at all.
At least, I mean, I've only been to one, but it's just like...
Like, I was spoiled.
Right, I know. That's
the
the thing. Don't go to the best one first, because then you'll go and be like, oh man, all the rest
are awful. Like, you
they're all
compare
just falling down.
everything to PAX. Yeah, seriously. I'm just grateful that, like, I've had the opportunity to, like, make new friends. Everyone that I meet that's not in the community, I feel like I'm from such a different world from so many other people in the world. Like, I feel like whenever I talk to regular people who don't know
the regular world
anything about, like, cosplay, or they're like, they know what it is,
right,
but they don't know what is inside of it.
Because if you talk to regular people, they're like, oh, that thing you do, like those things you go to,
and
like they don't even know how to...
And we, like, live and breathe it, and
like have the best day of my life.
Yeah, and, like, have, like we have, like, Discord calls,
right,
with, like big group
it's
calls,
like, wow,
with,
my
like, 20 people.
And it's like your whole year revolves around one weekend.
The fact that, like, in one weekend there was, like, 25 people in an elevator, and we got stuck in that elevator.
Fire department had to rescue
had to pull us out of an elevator, and
elevator party, guys.
All 20 or 25, however many people it was, there was a ton of us.
So many of us.
We were all friends. There was no strangers. It was
like,
that's how big our group was. And that wasn't even half of us. That, like, the fact that, like, we just have so many, like, there's just so many people.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Definitely the most surprising thing for me too. Is like, I never associated people, like, with the community. I just thought, like, oh, this online thing. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But, like, just having people be a product of that is like, what?
Whenever I talk to new people that are not in that community, they are like, you are so interesting. I'm not that interesting, but I guess I am to, like, regular people
because
who don't
it's
regular
not a
people.
thing that people do.
No. Oh, you know, I just, like, have, like, 80 jobs, and I'm an actor,
right,
and singer and dancer, and I also, like, make costumes and go to conventions with a bunch of people who make costumes and play video games on Twitch and, like, play video games in my spare time, and I'm an adult person.
Yeah, because you always have to have that conversation where people are like, oh, so, you know, how do you know this person? And it's like, online. Oh, through, like, Facebook? No, through YouTube. You can't explain it.
It's hard to explain. It takes an hour to explain this.
And they don't care. Like, they don't care enough to know the whole backstory, but, like, they're intrigued at the same time.
Just, like, don't get discouraged if you want to be a content creator. It is very rewarding.
Like, take yourself seriously. Don't take the game seriously. Like, don't take... And the game of, like, content creation is what I mean. You know, don't let that one dislike of the person who's jealous be the end-all, tell-all. Like,
yeah, because, like, they don't... Like, they're like, oh, they wish that they were doing it.
Because, I mean, it's just a really awesome girl that has better hair than you that you're instantly into this.
Chelsea! Closing thought, Chelsea 91's hair
is the best hair ever. Can I just twist the knife a little bit on this ending subject? You know what she told me when I said, I love your hair? She said, oh, I cut it myself. What? Done. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this interview.
I have.
It's been fun. It's been a conversation. It's a life. It's a life. It's half our lives. Like, literally.
It is. Oh, it is.
It's half of our lives.
Actually, half of our lives. It's 10 years.
Leave a comment of anything else you want to know. I'm trying to encourage that. I want to keep the conversation going. So, like, please.
Well, yeah, because
do that. Because I'm nosy. I'm just curious in general. Like, what do people want to know? Like,
once in a while, like people, I'll, like, somehow have people be like, oh, like, I know you through MadameWario, and I'm like,
you're like, what?
I'm like, how? Or I know you from Critical Chicks, and I'm like, why?
Exactly.
Like, you watched that? Like,
that's another good one. Like, how did you first hear of either of us? Like, how do you know either one of us? Hold on, I gotta say one last thing, and I know I'm gonna keep saying this, but, like, reason right here.
Right here.
She was the reason for giving a Like, no joke. Was like, you have to watch this video, and I still haven't stopped watching said video.
Did I tag you on Facebook?
You did. You were like,
I tagged
this
like
is the greatest thing ever.
And Rachel,
it was like 4 a.m.
and Allison and Natalie or something.
Yeah, and it was like 4 a.m. on a Saturday night or something, and I'm like, What?
What?
I'm like crying in bed laughing at this before I fall asleep.
Yeah.
So she was the origination of
Give
the
it a
meme.
ba, because then it was carried on to Megfest.
And then I did what I usually do with jokes and took it way too far.
Way too far. And I'm like, this video has like a legacy.
I know. Okay, we'll officially sign out. Can we both give it a ba though?
Give it a ba. Mine wasn't as intense. But...
Oh, well, whatever. It's
All
fine.
right, okay.
All right, well, love you guys. Bye.
Bye.